Hi, I'm Scott Kim, co-founder of the Game Thinking Academy. Tetris is one of the best-selling games of all time, still going strong after 40 years. I first met Alexey Pajitnov, the creator of Tetris, and his business partner Hank Rogers at the Game Developers Conference in 1990. I went on to work with Alexey and Hank, designing puzzles for new versions of Tetris. Recently, I got on a call with my old friend to talk game design and celebrate the release of the new Tetris movie. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 lessons I learned from Alexey on what it takes to create a hit product.
Basically, once I got the access to something looking like a personal computer, I start programming like a crazy, and because I love all kind of riddles and puzzles, I start to program some games. But one day, I remember my favorite board puzzle called 10 Tomatoes. If you take 5 squares and put them together, you could do it in 12 different ways. So you could compose 12 different shapes out of 5 squares. And those shapes are the subject of very many puzzles and riddles and stuff. So I love this puzzle, and when you decide that that's it and want to put them back in the box, that's quite difficult puzzle to form the shape of the rectangle out of those squares.
So if you want to create something new, start with something you love. When Shigeru Miyamoto created Zelda, for instance, he started from his childhood love of exploring the countryside.
One day I decided that I would like to try to make two-player game using this set of pieces. And before I do any kind of design or thought about it, I just came to my computer center and start to program this stuff. My original plan wasn't Tetris, it was kind of two-player game with Pentomino. I keep my efforts to come up with this game, and I was succeeded a couple times, but this game doesn't seem to be very exciting. It's for very hardcore puzzle audience to play, you know. It doesn't have really broad appeal. Basically, I need to figure out whether it's possible to do something like that or not, because my computer didn't have any graphics at all. I work with the monitor, which is the device with 24 lines of 80 ASCII symbols each. And that's all I have at my disposal. So I start to kind of play with those ASCII symbols on the screen and put together some routines, how to compose the piece, how to move it, how to place it in the playing field, and so on. How to rotate it, flip it, or whatever. And that, because those stuff looks really amusing on the screen, the idea of real-time game came to my mind. So I switched it from this two-player kind of puzzle-style game into real-time, and that's how Tetris was started.
So if your idea just won't work, try something else. Just imagine if Alexey had stubbornly kept trying to make his two-player Pentomino game work, we wouldn't have Tetris today.
The moment when I did my main aha about Tetris, I got the prototype which kind of start working, start breathing on the screen. And it has no decoration, it has no score, it has no levels or whatever, but it just have the pieces on the screen and your ability to put them in the rows. And I can stop playing myself and making myself excuses that I am debugging something with this stuff. But in reality, I just enjoy playing it. So at this moment, I realized that I have something really precious in hand. I realized that that's going to be a good game.
Play your own game and keep experimenting until the idea takes on a life of its own. Sid Meier, the legendary designer of the Civilization series, calls this process finding the fun.
When I keep playing this game, this prototype myself, it filled up the screen in 20-30 seconds, so no real time to play. Basically, I need to invent something to have this game kind of continuous. I try to find a way to prolong the game, to have enough kind of playing time. And then I noticed that if I fill up the line, it's kind of dead. I can't do anything with it. It just sit on the screen occupying the very precious space. So I decided to get rid of it, and then we have this wonderful moment of pleasure when the game demonstrates your achievement, your result. So people really love this moment in Tetris. It doesn't come very often, but it's not just once. So basically that was a kind of innovative moment with the puzzle gaming.
Line clearing is a great example of a recovery mechanic, a feature that helps players get out of a sticky situation. Other recovery mechanics include healing potions in Dungeons & Dragons, streak repair in Duolingo, and of course, the undo command. So if you find your users getting stuck, see if you can find an elegant way for them to get out of it. It might just end up being a highlight of your product.
Yesterday I was asked what's the role of Tetris, how I designed by the kind of game industry. Tetris was very useful at that time to break the barrier between men and computers. The use of computers in the early 80s, they just were introduced, and people kind of afraid the sophisticated and unknown machines which they are forced to start working with. And Tetris really helped people feel more amicably and easily with the computer. So this role is more or less well known. But people missing the other part, which is key important for industry. So Tetris was the first game for everybody. And after playing Tetris, the general attitude to the gaming activity was changed. I do remember that first time when I say that I'm doing games, the people look at me like a crazy. You kind of try to amuse children with this really expensive machine. This is kind of crazy. But after people try Tetris, it becomes okay to play games in general. That was kind of really tectonic shift in general attitude to the game. And Tetris had its important role in it. So up till now, many people say, I don't play game, I'm too busy, I'm too important, I'm too, or whatever, rich. But I play Tetris, so this exception is okay. So basically, it becomes okay to play good games, and this is very important for industry.
Tetris is the ultimate example of the power of simplicity. The simpler a product is to use, the more universal it becomes. So avoid the temptation to keep stuffing your product full of features and see how simple you can make it. For more product design insights from Tetris, download our free cheat sheet, 10 Lessons from Tetris, at gamethinking.io/Tetris. Let's get smarter together. I'll see you in the next video.